our next speaker is Mike Gimbala. And Mike's speech title is Happiness. It is part of his Competent Communicator Quote number 2. And a chance to change minds and alter perceptions. If only one of these two happens, it's totally fine. I'd like to bring up Mike. Please put your hands together. Mike Gimbala.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed welcome guests, I'm excited because I want to talk to you all about happiness. And if you would be so kind, say that word with me right now.
Happiness.
Something really interesting and profound happens when we say that word. People tend to smile. There's a natural correlation with our emotional state. Now, by a show of hands, who's willing to say whether or not they actually are happy? Wow, that's actually more than I was thinking. You guys are totally killing the speech. Okay, so in any other room, I can almost guarantee you that not that many people would have raised their hands. And there's a reason for that. There's a sociological experiment at play, and psychologists tend to agree on why there is a discrepancy. In any other room, that is. Most people believe they will be happy once they attain something. If they achieve that one thing, then they will be happy. The problem is, happiness is actually not an attainable thing. I'll say that again. Happiness is not an attainable thing. I see a lot of skepticism on the faces out there. But the reason for this is because happiness is actually hardwired into our minds, and we can choose to enter that state of being now, all the time. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, or the 1 or 2% of you, you're saying, that's a load of crap, Mike, because you don't know me, and my life totally blows. What if I said there was a way to get away from fixating on the future? And in this 6.5-minute speech that I timed, we can change our view of happiness. It might sound a little crazy, but I think it's a realistic goal. I used to think, when I was a teenager, I thought, once I get my driver's license, then I'm going to be happy. And then I got my license. And I thought, okay, I feel good-ish. That evolved into, once I get my college diploma, then I'll be thrilled. I'll be super satisfied. Then I got my diploma. And I thought, okay, I'm kind of feeling happy adjacent, but not awesome. And then I thought, once I get a serious girlfriend, that's going to change the game, and then my life's going to take off. And I'm going to be in that super awesome emotional state where everything's sunshine and rainbows and butterflies. The thing is, if we attach happiness to something we acquire, it also means we can lose it, right? And that happens to a lot of people. There's a vicious cycle there, and I experience that almost more than anyone. And this is precisely where we can change our view of happiness. Who here, by show of hands, has read the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle? Oh, cool. If there's one takeaway for those of you who haven't read it, it's to accept yourself in the moment and embrace the present. That's why it's called The Power of Now. And to take your mind off the fixation on what the future will bring. I got the advice from reading that if I made myself about a minute-by-minute, day-by-day process, then I could choose to become happy, like that, instantly. So I challenged myself to move away from fixating strictly on results. Now, mind you, goals are good, and they give us a sense of direction. They give us a compass, a North Star, call it what you will. They give us a purpose. Working at that purpose is what should make us satisfied. In other words, working at our purpose is what makes us happy. Now, there are a few things here, and it seems like everybody here in this room is well ahead of me on this. and you might have just completely tuned the speech out 4.5 minutes ago. But in case you're still with me, there's a couple last things. John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, once said that he never told his players about winning. Now that's literally the most famous college basketball coach in history, and he never told his players about winning. What he said was, if my players could look themselves in the mirror after a game and say they gave it their all, then that's all that matters. Because if anyone can look themselves in the mirror and say they are giving their lives their all, then you have every reason to be happy. Everybody in this room is already way ahead of me on this. I learned about Toastmasters 8 years ago. I enrolled last month. Everybody in here is already about the process. And once we make ourselves about the process, we have every reason to be thrilled with what we're doing. Because how many people out there are not willing to face their fears and be about the work? There are a lot of chairs being unused in that room. A lot of people say that public speaking is their primordial fear in life. And we're the select few that are addressing it. And to quote John Wooden one last time, he said that if you are able to say that you are giving your life, your all, that should bring a smile to your face, and I guarantee it will. Back to you.